and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. For more than 40 years, Aubin music has been a fixture in Lincoln's music scene. Musicians from all over Lincoln and all over the world have performed at Aubin Music's home, the beautiful and historic First Plymouth Church at 20th and D. I'm pleased to welcome Tom Trenny. He is the Artistic Director of Aubin Music, conductor of the Aubin Music Chorus, and the Minister of Music at First Plymouth. Tom, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And we also have with us Jeremy Bankson. He's the Executive Director of Aubin Music and the Associate Conductor of the Aubin Music Chorus. Thank you both so much for being here. I'm not sure who to ask this question to, but what is Aubin music?
Well, it actually is a German term for evening music, if you take it literally. But of course, Aubin music has been more than that. It's an eclectic series that features, as you mentioned, performers from all around the world, as well as local talent. And I think that's part of the magic, and the reason that it's been going for so long is this eclectic mix of talent from abroad, as well as local artists coming together and performing a wide range of things. It's everything from sacred music, jazz and blues, just about everything you can imagine. Organ concerts, choir concerts, bands, orchestras, and I think that's part of the magic that has made Aubin music so successful, is that eclectic mix.
Now, the organ is a huge part of Aubin music, and you have a wonderful instrument there at First Plymouth in the lead organ. Tell me a little bit about that instrument.
The lead organ was given as a gift to the Lincoln community as much as it was to the church specifically, and so we feel it's very important to continue to share it with the community through this art series. And so the organ's featured in a lot of ways. It's the largest organ kind of in this strip in the Midwest, and certainly one of the most colorful organs and orchestral and symphonic organs that you'll find anywhere. And we're so thankful to have it here, you know, in a surprising spot. So.
Well, and you are an award-winning organist yourself, so it's good to have someone who really knows how to play such a beautiful instrument.
It is a privilege to get to play here, that's for sure.
Well, talk a little bit about the history. Aubin music was started in 1972 by kind of the legendary Jack Levick.
Indeed. Jack was the Minister of Music at First Plymouth Church. And to the church's credit and its support of the arts, the idea of having these concerts that would be additional from Sunday morning services was really kind of a new thing at that point for the community. And of course, this was before things like the Lead Center existed. And so because First Plymouth is such a wonderful environment to make music in, it has really wonderful acoustics, it was kind of a win-win situation, a great room and a great place to bring in people as well as showcase some of the local talent. And so that was its beginnings, kind of just trying to do something a little extra. Of course, the genius of that was the fact that it started bringing people into the building, and you know, historic figures like Aaron Copland, John Rudder, who now is, you know, certainly well known. At one time in the 80s, one of his first visits to America was actually on the Aubin Music Concert Series. Robert Shaw, numerous musicians over the years Jack got in. He had a way of finding talent and knowing just when to bring them in kind of before they hit the big time. And so, of course, the series has just continued to grow and evolve, but those were its early beginnings.
Yeah, some of the names of the composers and conductors and organists who appeared at Aubin Music, it's amazing, really bringing that world-class talent to Lincoln even before the Lead Center opened.
Absolutely.
So, and I think an important part of that, just is to say, is that so often those people were brought here to make music with people from Lincoln. And so that's where it's a slightly a different thing than you might find in some of the other cultural centers here, which are wonderful in their own way, but that interaction of bringing the world to Lincoln and making music together, that gathering is a huge part of what Aubin music is about.
Well, your philosophy, I guess it can be summed up in music that inspires. So it inspires not just the performers, but also the audience and the whole environment.
So many of our programs involve the voice of the audience or the assembly too, and we like to think that, you know, when we experience music that kind of reaches us, that the only way we should really respond is to join it, right? To make music with whatever we've been given to. And so that singing thing, and the way such a big group in a space like First Plymouth can sing together, and it sounds so good. Here we all are singing in the shower together. There's something very thrilling about that people don't necessarily experience in in every concert that they might attend. So that's kind of a special part of Auburn Music.
Now we want to mention that Auburn Music has been awarded a Governor's Arts Award in 2003. It was a Mayor's Arts Award recipient. A great past. What's ahead for the future? What are some of your goals for Auburn Music?
I think we continue to figure out how we fit in Lincoln, and what are the specific things that Auburn Music can do and be. It's not enough for us to do what Jack thought the community needed in 1972 or anywhere along the way, but it's to say, today, with all of the options we have and all the way that the cultural scene's grown here, what specific things can we do? So we've recently been doing a children's choir festival. We're launching this year a youth masterworks festival for high school choirs to sing two kind of great pillars of the choral orchestral repertoire. And so we're continually trying to figure out, well, of course, this organ thing, we have this great organ to share. That's something the Lead Center doesn't, even though it's called the lead organ, that's something they don't get to share. So how do we find unique ways to reach people with that, and to steward the gifts and the history we've been given in a relevant way?
And where do you see the future, Jeremy?
It's kind of taking the best of what has happened and figuring out how it fits with modern culture. The Lincoln community is rather small when you think of the arts culture going on, and so as Tom alluded to, thinking about what the Lead Center offers and what the groups that they might be able to bring in, what can we do that sort of complements that, but doesn't try and step on those toes, and we have great working relationships with lots of arts organizations in Lincoln, and so it's great that we can have some conversations as we're planning the next year about what are you guys doing, what might we do. We oftentimes have some opportunities to bring someone that they may not just because of calendar issues, and so it's kind of like a big jigsaw puzzle every year, but what's fun is every year it's a different puzzle that gets put together once you place everything together. And so just taking advantage of what has been our history and trying to continue to grow and make that fit the people's needs in the Lincoln community and what they're seeking as well.
Well, let's talk about some specific pieces of that puzzle coming up here yet in January. We've got the South Dakota Chorale, and it's referred to as a hidden treasure.
Truly, when you think of a list of choirs that people recognize, perhaps this isn't in the top 10 list, but what we can tell you is it's not, it soon will be. And that's part of the beauty of Auburn Music, finding some of these groups in their early infancy. And this happened because they wanted to make a recording in the building at First Plymouth, again, knowing that it's a wonderful space and using the lead organ. And so they sort of approached us about doing this recording, and in addition to the recording, they would do a concert. And we're just thrilled because they are one of the up-and-coming ensembles. And as I said, if you haven't heard of them, down the road, we think for certain you will.
In a few years, they might be as well known, possibly, as the St. Olaf Choir, which is also coming up the very next week.
Certainly, yeah.
We were so happy to host the St. Olaf Choir in their last tour out this way, and that was such a special evening for us. As soon as the concert was over, I hugged Anton Armstrong and said, please tell us the next time you're going to get out this way. And we're so grateful they're going to come, and of course, they sing with such a commitment, not just to the music that they sing, but to the message that they bring of hope and peace and love. And it's going to be, if there's any way you can be there to hear the St. Olaf Choir, we would all benefit from being there. That's for sure.
They really do set the standard.
Absolutely.
That everyone tries to achieve.
For sure.
A very different kind of show coming up for Valentine's Day, My Funny Valentine. This starts with a dinner prepared by Chef Jeremy Banks. And what are you going to fix?
I haven't totally landed on the menu, but when I'm not at work, usually I'm in my kitchen at home. And so when we started throwing around the idea of a fundraiser, I said, well, I could probably do this. And the board ends up being the serving team, and the entertainment afterwards provided by Tom. It's sort of a different program, but it's been so successful the last couple of years that there was no way we couldn't continue it. So it ends up being a lot of fun.
And Tom, you were going to serenade concert goers on the Steinway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was getting ready to go to college, I thought, well, if I could dance a little better, I might go in the theater, but I think I'll do the church music thing instead. But it's still fun to come back and sing and play songs from the Great American Songbook. And on that night, I think Jeremy and I played different roles to to our Avant music community than we tend to, you know. And so I get to tell jokes and play and sing some fun songs, and it's a really, really fun evening.
It
so
does. It
can
sounds,
hardly wait.
sounds wonderful. Now, collaboration coming up in April with the Symphony Orchestra and the First Plymouth Pipes, and the 6,000 pipe lead organ will sort of be the star.
Yeah, how blessed we are that the Lincoln Symphony would want to come to do a program at First Plymouth, and that they were so willing to collaborate with us in Avant music. And I get to play a piece I've always dreamed of getting to play, the Samuel Barber Toccata Festiva. If you don't know what that is, you should come to the concert to hear it, because you'll probably never get to hear it again. If you do know what it is, you'll want to come to the concert because you know what it is. But it's a thrilling piece. It's to play. It's got great parts for the hands and the feet, but also the way he uses the colors of the organ and the way he uses the colors of the orchestra and intertwine is amazing. The program also includes a Nebraska premiere of a piece by Jake Runestad and a world premiere of a piece by Jake Runestad, and the composer will be here to lead us in that, so it should be a wonderful experience.
That's one of the things Aubin Music seems to do a lot, is the world premieres or the regional premieres. A lot of commissioned pieces are first heard at First Plymouth.
Yeah. And I think that's a great example of a program that is eclectic in nature. I mean, you can go to the symphony and hear a symphonic work, and that's great. But to have the opportunity to hear this symphony with the lead organ, but then also to hear a choir singing this piece, programs like that give a little bit of something for everyone. And so people who are maybe a little hesitant to do a classical music program, this is a great opportunity, because truly, if you didn't love that particular piece, it's very likely you might like the next one or the next one, because there's so many programs that we do that are like that.
Now, the next group that we're going to talk about, believe this is the end of your season, right, in April 23rd. When I first saw the name of this choir, I thought they must be from Europe. They're actually from Waverly, Iowa. Tell us about this Wartburg?
Yeah.
Wartburg Choir.
Wartburg College is a small liberal arts college in the same sort of family as St. Olaf and Luther and Concordia and that kind of thing. And they have a very ambitious young conductor, Lee Nelson, who is starting to turn them into one of the top collegiate choirs in the Midwest for sure, and probably nationally, really. And so as part of their tour, they're going to be with us at First Plymouth in the Avant Music Series, and I'm so grateful that they commissioned me to write a new piece for them this year, and that will be part of the program, and our Avant Music Choir will be singing a bit of the program with them as well. So another time for collaboration and joining together in music making. So.
What a wonderful slate of programs you have to finish out this particular concert season, and I know there'll be much more to come later on in 2016 when you announce the new season. So again, if you'd like to check out any of these wonderful performances, abendmusic.org. That's ABENDMUSIK. I had never heard that word till I came to Nebraska, so it's good to know. 476-9933 is the phone number to call. Again, they've got the South Dakota Chorale, St. Olaf Choir, My Funny Valentine, Lincoln Symphony with First Plymouth's Pipes, and the Wartburg Choir, all coming up this winter and spring. One more question before we go. If you were talking to someone who had never been to an Aubin music show, what would you tell them to expect?
I would tell them to expect to be enveloped in something. Aubin music success is so multifaceted, and I think in a culture where we're so used to having music piped in on the elevator and CD, this is a multi-sensory experience, because I think once you enter a building like First Plymouth, the architecture alone is worth visiting. But once you enter that space and you experience music in that acoustic, you realize how powerful music can be and the way it can envelop you. But beyond just those things, I think there's a warmth about the people of Aubin music that makes it more than just an architectural wonder or some musical extraordinary event. There's a feeling that you get when you are part of that you cannot replicate listening to a CD. And so often we think live music maybe is something of the past, going out to hear live music. This is something that if you think that, you need to experience at least once, and I would almost guarantee that you'll be back because of all those elements playing together.
And Tom, what would you say to someone who had never been before?
I think there's hear this with the small s, I think there's a spirituality at the heart of a lot of the Aubin music programs. There's an underlying message of hope and grace and peace, And I think that's a message we don't often hear, even in the performing arts now. And I think it's an important message for us to communicate, and I'm so thankful to have inherited this opportunity, to be a steward of that mission. And we hope people will come and feel welcomed and also uplifted, I think, to feel a little more whole when they leave, a little more joy, and that their soul may feel a little bit more ready to take on whatever happens on that next Monday after the Ava Music Sunday than they might otherwise have been.
Well, I feel inspired just talking to the two of you. Thank you so much, Tom and Jeremy, and good luck with the shows coming up yet this season.
Thank you.
Again, auburnmusic.org is the website. 476-9933 is the phone number. And when we return on Out and About, Jeff Mall will join us from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living, especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mall joins us now from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And Jeff, I want to talk about ice. Not the bad kind on the streets, but the good kind in the rinks.
That's good.
Yeah, rail yard ice rink is a busy place these days.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
And then the Breslow Ice Center is open.
Breslow Ice Center's open. A lot of people have been over there and done some public skating and said it's just been amazing to see and experience. And those outside at the rail yard have had a good time as well.
That's right. We hope to do an out and about show from the Breslow Ice Center in a couple months.
You and I on skates, helmets.
That sounds really dangerous, but we'll put the crew on skates.
That's right. I think the crew will do a great job on skates.
And also in the ice category, of course, is the Lincoln Stars, who have just outstanding fan support, and we want to remind people that they've got, are they hockey matches, right? Not bouts.
No, not bouts.
Hockey matches.
It's when a fight breaks out, it's a bout.
Okay.
But it's not a bout, it's a bout. Anyway, Lincoln Stars are at home a lot in January. We're looking at the home schedule, and it looks like the 8th, 14th, 16th, 22nd, 29th, 30th, and February 6th. A lot of great chances to go out and see the Lincoln Stars play some great hockey.
And they have 3 opportunities to beat Sioux City.
That's right. Beating the Musketeers is a good thing. I'll tell you what, the Lincoln Stars are off to a great start this year. It's a great time to get out there. It's very family friendly. Does get a little rough from time to time, but it's a great chance to go support the Stars. Of
course, we know there are a lot of Husker sports going on right now, but we want to talk about the indoor track and field event, the Frank Savine Husker Invitational. This is a big deal every year.
Yes, this is the 41st annual Frank Savine Husker Invitational. Teams include Texas, Arizona State, Auburn, Illinois, and Kansas. This is a warm-up for the Rio Olympics in Brazil in 2016, so it should be a lot of great opportunities for people to train and see some great track action.
2 days at the Bob Devaney, so that'd be a great time to get out and support the Huskers. Of course, the basketball season's underway, both the men's and women's teams. Men's wrestling, men's and women's gymnastics are going on. At Nebraska Wesleyan, of course, they're playing basketball at Snyder Arena, and the tennis team's even getting ready for its
January.
First match at Woods.
It's January. The tennis team is getting ready.
That's right. Hopefully in a few years they'll have something other than the bubbles to play in. Something
stay tuned.
A little bit nicer. So, all right. And there's high school sports too going on. Bowling state championships.
Yeah, great opportunity to stop out to Hollywood Bowl, Sun Valley Lanes, and Parkway Lanes to see the high school bowling championships. We have great bowling destinations in Lincoln, so it's a good opportunity to go out and see some great bowling action.
That's right. Now you may not see a lot of people doing cross-country skiing here in Lincoln, but If you'd like to give it a try, there's a workshop coming up out at the Nature Center.
Yeah, UNL's Outdoor Adventures will host the cross-country ski workshop. If the weather is not suitable for ski use, otherwise the workshop will be outside. So inside or outside, you just don't know. It's hard to tell with the weather right now, but this event is recommended for individuals 12 years and older.
So if you're more of a participant than a spectator, you can check out the cross-country skiing and get ready for the bicycle tours coming up. This is a pretty cool deal. If you've ever wanted to do one of those multi-day events like Tour de Nebraska, this is a way to get in gear.
Yeah, and leave it to Susan Larson Rodenberg to put this together. They're great avid cyclists, great supporters of the Lincoln community, and this is 2 courses, Training 101 and Advanced Training, so no matter what your level is of bicycling.
I need training for dummies.
We should call. Should we make a phone call here and get you a
see if
session?
Susan will give me a special session there.
Training wheels included for Diane. This will be at the downtown YMCA, so an opportunity to go down there.
Lots of fun. Well, let's go out to the event center. They've got a couple rodeo events coming up, starting with the Turn and Burn.
Turn and Burn. This is Maverick Rodeo, and this event will showcase events that are exciting for both competitors and the general public. Speed and roping categories will take place at this event.
Now, the Modern and Black Powder Gun Show is coming up. This is the 20th year for this show, and if you're not really into guns as a shooting sport, they also have lots of cool historical stuff there.
Yeah, a lot of great items on display. 80 to 100 tables consisting of more than just the 400. They had 400 the last few years. They're going to have 80 to 100 more, so it should be a big event. This is the 20th year for the Modern Black Powder Gun Show.
Now, we've got a couple events coming up that are kind of your opportunities to dream a bit. One is the Boat Sport and Travel Show. Great time for outdoor enthusiasts.
3 shows in one, features 150,000 square feet of exhibition space on one level with on-site free parking. You never know if you're going to see a water skiing squirrel or not, but this is a big, big show for Lincoln.
The other one where you can go and dream a lot is the Nebraska Home Builders of Lincoln put on their Home and Garden Show every year. And this is also a benefit for the food bank. If you head out there, don't forget to take some food.
Right, over 300 businesses displaying their wares, whether you rent, whether you own, whether you remodel, whether you build, or if you just want to dream, head out to this show. It's a fun show to go to.
You know, that big lottery prize is coming up this week.
Did you get your numbers?
Yes, I did.
I played fortune cookie numbers this time around, so we'll see if the fortune cookie numbers work out.
Good luck with that. I have a feeling we're both going to be keeping our jobs for a while.
Stay tuned.
The other rodeo event coming up at the event center is the team roping.
Great example of teamwork. Both riders need to work together, be successful. This event will be exciting for both competitors and the public as well. Great interactive opportunity to go out and see some team roping.
The Lincoln Wedding Show is coming up at the Embassy Suites. Of course, it's 6 months now till June, which is the traditional bridal month. You can get probably everything from florists to wedding singers at this.
Photographers, facility rentals. This will be at the beautiful Embassy Suites in downtown Lincoln. And guys, you should go as well. This is for both.
You get brownie points
That's
for
right,
that.
you do. It's a good time to go and be a part of this process.
Well, let's talk about some local theater, and I'm going to start by talking about a play called Lowercase.
Right.
It's written by local playwright Steve Anderson, and I happen to know a lot about this one because I'm in it.
Oh, yes.
So,
Tell us more.
It's about a man who's sick of the midlife dating scene and decides to come up with a sort of unusual solution. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that is, but George is played by Larry Moda.
Oh, tell him hi for me.
I will do that.
I graduated high school with Larry, so tell him hi.
All right, I will do that. I play his meddling sister, Betsy.
Oh, my.
Yes. The other actors are Rochelle Brown, Mason Gustafson, and directed by Mary Douglas. Our stage managers, Karen Statham. It's a really great production, a lot of fun. Anyway, it's written by local playwright Steve Anderson, and he's a really funny guy.
This sounds fun.
Yes.
You're going to be at the Playhouse for this, right?
At the
Lincoln Community
Playhouse,
Playhouse?
yes.
Sounds like fun.
I'm not sure they have ever done a full production of a local playwright's work before, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Come
Can't
find
wait to
out what
see.
Lowercase is all about.
Excellent.
Also, Playhouse is getting ready for Anne of Green Gables. They're rehearsing in the other theater at the Playhouse.
That Anne of Green Gables, kind of it's been around for a long time.
Yes, it has. It's a classic.
And it's a great story of a plain-spoken farmer and his sister who thought they were adopting a boy. A lot of story happens after that. A lot of story. Prince Edward Island, things take place. It's just a lot of fun.
And a redhead, an independent, fiery little redheaded girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like fun. The Haymarket Theater has something a little darker called The Pillow Man.
Yes, this is a comedy about a writer in a totalitarian state who has been questioned for a series of Murders.
Yes.
Totalitarian. I've been working on that.
They're very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Also, Wesleyan Theater has got a play about Desdemona coming up. It's sort of a new look at Othello.
Yeah, the play's action has grave repercussions for Cassio and Lago and the Moor. But what
The
impact do
Moor.
these events have on the women in the play? You'll have to go see to find out.
Absolutely. All right. A lot of music going on in the capital city as well. The Nebraska Wesleyan Choir has their home tour concert.
Well, when you hear home tour, and this is showcasing the group's past semester's work, did you know they travel?
That's right.
This group has been across the state of Nebraska, Colorado, and New Mexico. Did not know that.
It's a great opportunity to show off the great musicians we have at Nebraska
That's right.
Wesleyan. Nebraska Jazz Orchestra has its Learning from the Master concert, and NJO alum Dave Sharp is back. He's a virtuoso saxophonist and clarinetist.
Also an NJO alum, just a great guy to go out and see. This will be at the Cornhusker Marriott. They've been doing more musical performances over there. It's a great venue. Their ballroom does great work with that.
Now we also want to mention this is also features the Young Lions All-Star Band, which is an auditioned group, so it's always a great show.
Sounds like a wild bunch to me.
Yeah.
Young
Well,
Lions.
let's talk about a couple of our music venues downtown. The Eli Young Band is going to be at the Bourbon Theater, and they've got some #1 hits.
Yeah, actually, the Eli Young Band opened up for one of the country music acts at Pinnacle Bank Arena this last year, so they're going to scale it down, play a smaller venue. A lot of great nominations and winning awards for the Eli Young Band. They're at the top of their game. This is a band out of Texas that plays some great music.
All right. The Lincoln's Nick Dahlquist returns for a show at Vega.
And he's a songwriter from Lincoln who is currently based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He writes tunes, arranges instruments, and for studio sessions and plays shows. Great chance to go down to Vega in the rail yard.
Now, the Lincoln Organ Showcase is featuring another young organist. This is one of the up-and-comers. Apparently, he was a student at an event held here in Lincoln a while back, and he's coming back as a performer.
Yeah, he's a choral conducting student at Boston University. We're talking about Kevin Neal, has a degree in organ from Indiana University, Jacobs School of Music. Pretty good background on this gentleman.
Yes, yes. Like I said, you're going to hear some good things about him. Lincoln Symphony Orchestra is doing a great introduction for kids featuring Lemony Snicket.
I just love saying
I do
right?
too. I love that name.
Author Lemony Snicket, best known for his popular Unfortunate Events series of children's books, brings our audience a musical mystery with The Composer is Dead, written by Nathaniel Stuckey. Great opportunity to get to know the actor as well as the symphony, and make sure to get there early for face painting and a family festival.
Sounds like fun. Lincoln Symphony Orchestra then also has a concert featuring Anton Miller playing Mozart.
Should be a lot of fun. It's this is celebrating Black History Month with a showcase of one of France's virtuosic violinists and composers, a very great contemporary arrangement of Mozart.
Yes, his name is, I'm going to give this a shot, Chevalier de Saint, it looks like St. George, but I'm sure it has a more French pronunciation.
Sounds like a cologne I should go to Dillard's and look for. Chevalier de Saint, yes, anyway.
Yeah, it sounds, anyway. I'm sure this is going to be another great
Yes.
Lincoln Symphony concert. Also at the lead, it's time to get your glee on. The show choirs are back.
Wow, the Midwest Cup Show Choir Invitational at the Lead Center features 800 musicians, and they'll gather perform before 2,300 seats filled with enthusiastic listeners. Great choreography, great vocals. Sounds like a lot of fun at the Lead Center.
It does. The Texas Tenors are also coming to the Lead Center straight from NBC's America's Got Talent.
Actually, they've taken up residency down in Branson. We were down there for the holidays. Missed them. They were off for the holiday, but they're going to be at the Lead Center. They play a lot of great music. One of the highest-ranking vocal groups in the history of America's Got Talent.
And they play all different kinds.
They do.
Little
Unique blend
gospel, classical.
of Broadway tunes and
Sounds
some
good.
country.
Now, we talk a lot about the Lead Center and all the great work that they do. This is your chance to support the Lead Center with the Fire and Ice Gala.
That's right. This is the 13th biennial Fire and Ice Gala. Enjoy a dinner, live music, dancing, and an auction, as well as raffle, one of the highest anticipated social events of the year.
And this is a great opportunity to raise some monies to make sure that all Nebraskans have an opportunity to see the world-class artists who come to the Lead.
Yeah.
All right, continuing at the Lead, this is a collaboration with Tada Theater, Forever Plaid.
That's right.
It's kind of a nostalgic musical romp.
It is, and a lot of great tight harmonies, precision choreography, and comical banter. It's full of delightfully nostalgic, what you said, a musical romp, great costumes, great outfits, very entertaining.
One of the interesting ballet troupe, Les Ballets Trocadero de Monte Carlo, and this is an all-male ballet troupe
Right.
who blend really good technique with comedy.
Yeah, enjoy those hilarious twists on classics like Swan Lake and Giselle from this all-male dance troupe, as you mentioned. I can't even picture this right now. Can
I've
you?
seen pictures.
Have you really?
It looks really funny.
It looks entertaining.
These guys are really, really good dancers, but they kind of do I don't want to say parody, but it's a lot of fun.
They talk a lot about the impeccable timing. They don't even give you a chance to guess or think about what's coming next. They answer it and answer it with comedy.
I know they have a lot of fans.
Yes.
The Trucks. Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat is coming in February.
From Games and Mischief to Thing 1 and Thing 2, the Cat in the Hat will bring all sorts of trouble to this gray day. Of course, a very rainy afternoon. Cat in the Hat, great time, Lead Center.
Now, the Lead Center is presenting one of our local favorites, Jackie Allen, great jazz singer. They're presenting her at the Rococo.
Right.
Yeah, so that should be a good show. Jackie is just a phenomenal talent.
And you know Jackie.
Yes,
You
I know.
love Jackie.
I know Jackie, and her Christmas CD is now one of my holiday favorites. It's one
Really?
of the yes.
Right up there with Bublé and all these other.
The Charlie Brown Christmas,
Really?
right up there.
To look
it's
this one
wonderful.
up.
Yes.
Jackie Allen.
I will let you borrow it, but you have to give it back.
So great collaboration. Who says our local theaters don't work together? Lead Center producing something at the Rococo.
Very nice, very nice. Also at the Rococo, of course, is the Remington Trophy presentation, and this is been going on for over 10 years.
Yes.
It's
yes.
an interesting story of how this got started. It's a sports writer realized there was no big national award for centers.
Centers get no love, right? It's always the quarterback, but who has to give him the ball? The center. So Dave Remington is often considered the best center in college football. This will be a great event at the Rococo. Lee Corso, announcer on ESPN, will be the guest speaker and announcer at this, and the money's to support the cystic fibrosis community out there. So definitely show up at the Rococo.
So that'd be kind of fun to be downtown and just happen to run across Lee Corso hanging out.
Yeah, and we'll see who the new best center in college football is that
There
night.
you go. There you go. Also, we've got the Queen of Mean coming. Lisa Lampanelli is coming to the Rococo. Mature content.
18 and older, please.
Yes.
She's the Queen of Mean. Stop on down to see Lisa Lampanelli.
And then another musician, Christopher Titus, born with a defect. I did a little research on him. He says that we're all born with a defect because we were all born children. It's an interesting philosophy.
So do I have to explain that to my kids?
I wouldn't try.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I wouldn't try.
But he'll take us on a wild ride through his personal life and proves why he isn't qualified to be a father and why childless couples win. It's fun to read that because this tells you what kind of guy this is.
Yeah, he's funny. His website is very entertaining.
Yeah.
So that'd be a fun show to see.
A lot of great shows at the Rococo. That's
Yes,
good.
there are. They're starting off the year with a bang, and we're bringing back an old favorite to start off the new year.
Yes.
It's our and now for something completely different segment.
So excited.
A local retirement community has a great idea to celebrate its 20th anniversary.
That's right. The Legacy Retirement Community is celebrating their 20th anniversary. They've selected 20 landmarks. Now, when they do this, that's my world of tourism. And I love this. 20 landmarks. They encourage you to visit them, take selfies, post it on social media, which is Instagram, Twitter, whatever your platform might be. And for each post, they will donate $5 back to the Capital Humane Society, City Impact, the Food Bank, Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach, or the People's City Mission, up to $5,000. That's pretty cool.
That's a great idea.
We've got a selfie stick at home now. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go see these 20 landmarks.
Go have
because
some
look what I'm
fun.
going to do for people.
Take some kids out, have some fun, and raise money for some of our community's great nonprofits.
Yeah,
So
this is a great idea, and there's a lot of great things to see in Lincoln, even between and around the 20 landmarks. So get out and discover.
place to find it all is lincoln.org.
That's right. You can give us a call down at our visitor center at 434-5348, and we'd love to see you down at 7th and P. Our visitor center is always busy. We have cold water during the winter, and maybe some coffee if you're nice.
Hot chocolate?
We could do hot chocolate too.
That'd be good. That'd be good. We're off to a great 2016, Jeff.
We are. It's
All
going to be a
right.
lot of fun. We're excited about Olympic volleyball as we speak.
That's
That
right.
happens tomorrow, so it's a great start to a new year, and we need people to get out and support all the events that we talk about.
Absolutely. Well, when we come back, we'll have all the exciting news from Pinnacle Bank Arena, so stay with us.
This city isn't what outsiders think. Lincoln has always had the reputation of being a sleepy Midwest city, but not the type of place people think about living. especially young people. We've just never really been the place people dream about. That's about to change. It's time to change perceptions. Exciting things are happening in our city, big things. Our spirit has a renewed sense of energy, and there's enthusiasm in our collective voice. You can feel it in the streets, see it on the skyline, hear it in the ideas of our young entrepreneurs and creative class. This might be a quiet, laid-back city, but it's buzzing with a flourishing economy and a rich, vibrant culture. Be young, have a booming career, raise a family. You can do it all here, and it just keeps getting better. We're the crossroads of blue skies and bustling progress, the sweet spot of balanced living. It feels good to be here, to be a part of it. In Lincoln, life is right. Now, it's time to let the world know.
Welcome back to Out and About. We're pleased to have Tom Lorenz with us today. And I'm going to give you some kudos right off the bat, a little letter to the editor. That was kind of a nice Christmas present for you.
Very nice. We were really appreciative of that. Steve Glenn wrote that, and you know, it's nice to get that recognition. You know, I have to give it right back to the city of Lincoln, who supports so much of what we do, and you know, that really makes a difference. When something sells really well, it's very easy to get that next show in, and so thank you, Lincoln, for all the support. And you know, we've got a great crew and a great staff, the IATSE crew and everyone. It's a really strong package down there, and thank you, Diane, for helping us get the word out to everyone.
Well, I do want to mention in Steve's letter, he talks about what a giant economic stimulus it's been, how it's caused us to think differently about ourselves and our future. And he mentions a magic Rolodex file that you must have. I would like you to bring that sometime.
We'll see about bringing that sometime. You know, it's a deeply guarded secret. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Husker men's and women's basketball, they've got, I think, 7 home games left for the men, 8 for the women as of January 6th.
Yeah,
so
we still have strong attendance. It's still at a very exciting time, and you know that the team is young and learning. You know, they hang with all of these really good teams, and so you know, we keep seeing a little bit of incremental improvement every game, and you know, they'll get over that hump and do well. But we sure appreciate all the people that show up. It's, you know, we get to see some of the top competition in the country. So it is very exciting to have that in downtown Lincoln.
And you never know when the team's going to get that big win.
They do, and they're due for it. You know, again, we see these guys, so many of them starting to come out on their own, and we're very excited for them. The girls, the women, a strong team. They've had a few injuries, but you know, there's some true talent there, and some true talent for the future also. So it's a very exciting time to be part of that Husker basketball aura that's out.
Now, I mentioned we're taping this on January 6th, though right now everybody, including our friend Jeff Mull, who had a lot to do with this, is the women's Olympic qualification tournament volleyball.
It's really exciting. You know, Jeff Mull and Derek Bombeck did a terrific job. I mean, and this is the kind of hope that we had for when we built Pinnacle Bank Arena, to be able to draw this type of event. This is an international event. As you know, the press has talked about, this is the first chance that the U.S. Team has had to clinch the Olympic qualifiers in the States. You know, normally they're traveling in some other country to do that. We've got 4 of the top teams in the nation here. The setup is really, really great. The ticket sales have been very, very strong, and there's certainly a lot of excitement out here. You know, to be able to come to Lincoln and showcase not only after the Huskers' great win for the national championship, but to see that next level up, to see Jordan and the other Huskers play, you know, that high caliber of USA volleyball. It's really exciting, and we hope that this is just the beginning of many more of this type of event.
Right. Well, you mentioned it's really a world event, but it's also got that local touch with 3 former Huskers playing for the USA.
And, you know, and they love coming here because there's such the fan base is so well educated in volleyball and appreciates it. And just like when we did the NCAA Women's Regional, you know, people showed up to the other games, not just to the Husker game, but you know, to watch the other things. So this is a very exciting time, and they love the venue and they love the city.
Well, let's hope it leads to more exciting things
It
down
will.
the road.
Jeff and Derek will do a great job and keep those things coming.
Well, let's talk about some of the non-sports events coming up at the arena. The Chocolate Lovers Fantasy is coming up at the end of January. And this has a different website if you want tickets to this. It's haymarket.org.
It is, yeah, and it's a fundraiser for the Haymarket down there. Darl and all the other great Haymarket people down there do a tremendous job. This is so much fun. I mean, and let me give the secret right now. Don't try to eat a piece of every piece of chocolate. There's only so much chocolate you do. Go around, find the ones you really want to do. But it's a wonderful evening. Very nice. So many different tastes and so many different presentations, and a very nice event for a great cause. And it's always a fun evening. It's a great date night. You know, bring your special someone out and enjoy that evening.
Now, this was the first event where I had chocolate-covered potato chips, and I also had chocolate with like hot peppers in it. Yep.
There's chocolate chip cookies. There's chocolate everything. It's amazing what you can do, and it makes it just like bacon. Chocolate makes everything better. So
I think there's even
probably
chocolate with
covered
bacon.
bacon.
Yes, I
yep.
believe so. So that'll be a fun event. Again, haymarket.org is the website for that event. Then we start up with more concerts at the end of February, starting with, wow, a big one.
Blake Shelton, I mean, he's in the news every day, and such a great talent. You know, his connection with The Voice has certainly brought him a lot more notoriety, and it's a great concert. This thing has sold extremely well. One of the top acts, country acts out there right now, coming on February 25th. And then as soon as Blake moves out, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we turn around and get ready for Life in Color.
That's crazy. Blake Shelton, February 25th, and then the world's largest paint party the next night.
That's right, and we'll set up for that. We'll work the rest of the night, be ready for them. They'll move in all their production. Aoki's the DJ, world-renowned EDM DJ. It'll be a heck of a night, and it will draw people from a long, long way. This is a rarity to have someone that good here in the Midwest. Very interesting night, and we'll have about 5,000 to 6,000 on the floor, and it'll work very well.
All right. Lil Wayne is coming March 6th.
Yeah, it's something, you know, we did Jay-Z, and this is a little bit, you know, along that similar kind of genre. It's, you know, we tried to get a lot of different types of acts in, and Lil Wayne certainly, you know, a well-known artist in the hip-hop world, and we're really excited to have him come. It'll be a great show. It's a terrific time. It's between Girls State and Boys State basketball. Students are all in. It'll be an exciting night.
Now we've got a couple big attractions coming back to Lincoln. The Harlem Globetrotters, followed by Monster Jam.
Yeah, the Globetrotters, this is their 90th year.
It was sad to hear about Meadowlark
It
Lemon.
was, because I remember seeing Meadowlark, and, you know, we saw him on TV, and I got to actually see him, you know, live a couple times, and such a, you know, he was such a great talent, but then he also brought the comedy parts, and, you know, back in those days, they played games against, you know, other teams and were able to win. So the same thing happens today. You know, the athletic ability of these guys, and, you know, is just, and girls now, is amazing. And so, you know, you get the athletics part, but then you also get the fun and the comedy. It's a tremendous thing. You can bring your family. It's one of those events that I hope everyone gets to see, and see often. It's a terrific evening.
Now Monster Jam is going to be loud and fun.
Loud and fun. You know, we have 8 of the best monster trucks in the country that come out, and, you know, always led by Gravedigger, who comes out there, and then all the other support
I love that
cast.
name for truck.
And these guys are nuts. You know, that these are expensive big trucks, and they don't think twice about ramming them into the air and falling down and rolling over, and it's an exciting day. You know, last year it was on Saturday and Sunday. The nights better are Friday and Saturday, so we think, well, you know, we'll see some more attendance at this, which was strong before. It'll even better now, and what a great thing to take your family out to. It's a lot of fun, and, you know, we saw a lot of dates out there too,
Really?
Guys and girls hanging out. It's just a cool evening. It's, you know, it's if you ever played with Big Wheels when you were a kid, this is the live version of it.
More Country is coming at the end of April with Brantley Gilbert.
You know, Brantley, you know, it's rock and roll country. This is a heck of an evening. He puts on a tremendous show. It's high energy, high powered. Brantley has, you know, continued to draw great crowds, you know, through his career. And we're really glad to have, you know, a shot to get Brantley in and have everyone. It'll be a party night when Brantley's there.
All right, the brand name circus, the one everyone thinks of, is coming for
Ringling Brothers,
several performances.
Barnum and Bailey, you know, and this is, and they, the cool part is they continue to adapt the circus, you know, as tastes change and as talents change and everything else. Production values are so high on this. I mean, they have the best people in the world that come perform for them. It's a high energy night, and again, you know, the cool part is that the first couple years we were really concert based, and now we're finally getting in the rotation on these family shows. So Monster Jam, and then now, you know, Barnum and Bailey, and you know, later on we'll talk about Cirque. These are tremendous shows for people to be able to come out, bring everyone, bring grandma, bring the kids, and the circus, multiple opportunities to see it. Just a strong, fun show to see.
Bieber Fever is coming to Lincoln in June.
Justin Bieber,
Beware.
one of the, you know, for a while he was one of the biggest acts in the country. He had a few, let's say, personal mishaps, but strong artist. And you know, the excitement for the Bieber show has been really good. The reviews on his show are very strong. And it's you know, again, a young pop star that has had some great success and is, you know, really, I think will be around for a long time. We're really excited to have him there. This was brought to us by AEG out of New York, and we're honored to be able to put on that show.
Probably they're in your Magic Rolodex.
They are. They're one of the ones, and it's, you know, and that's it. They saw such great success with Shania Twain, and then Carrie Underwood is selling extremely well, that they were very comfortable bringing us Justin.
Now, if you're a fan of circus and also Avatar and Cirque du Soleil, the first flight coming in July is something you won't want to miss.
This is a beautiful show. I mean, if you've heard about it, if you're neighbors, or if you've gone out to Las Vegas to see the Cirque shows, these are tremendously elaborate shows with acrobats and high wire and climbers and lighting and the story. This is the Avatar story, and it is it's one of their newest shows out there. Very strong, multiple performances. Just a beautiful performance, and you know, it has all the aspects of beauty and art, but it's also on an arena scale. We get to do it's a spectacle to see. So again, you know, Cirque loves coming here. The crowd reaction to the last Cirque show we had was tremendous, and they were thrilled to bring us back, one of their best properties.
It sounds like it's going to be a magical kind of performance.
It really is, and it's, you know, we've seen some highlights and previews of it. You know, the costuming and the way this goes, and there's always something. There's so many things to look at. It's a tremendous show, and if you haven't had the opportunity, take the opportunity to come by here, see it locally, and it's one of the most fabulous shows you'll see. And they'll come back then in future years with other, you know, really very interesting shows.
Now, the Belong Tour is something that really attracts a regional crowd. It's a women's evangelical event?
Yes, you know, very Christian evangelical type of event. Used to be called Women of Faith. They've kind of retooled, and you know, some of the speakers now are maybe a little bit younger and geared more towards maybe a little younger demographic, but still has a connection with women of all ages. A wonderful, uplifting type of a weekend. Great music they always bring with it, and tremendous speakers. You know, come with friends, spend the weekend, you know, go out to dinner after the Friday night and come back and spend the day on Saturday. It's a great event, and you're right, regionally it draws from multiple states around here. So another great thing, and then Jeff Mall and the CVB were incremental or a big part of bringing that back. Just a quick aside, you know, my peers work with different convention and visitors bureaus across the country. We have one of the best ones here in Lincoln. These guys and girls do a tremendous job, and so we're honored to be able to work with those guys, and it is a big part of what we do at the arena.
The last arena show we want to talk about, of course, will be another big seller, or probably already is another big seller.
is.
Maroon 5 continues to be strong nationally.
You know, we get to get Maroon 5 and James Valentine, our local you know, great guitarist, back. You know, they continue to just put out great albums. You know, a very popular show. It was nice to be able to put this one on sale so far out ahead of time, to know that it's there. It is sold extremely well. There are a few tickets left, and so I encourage people to still go back out on Ticketmaster.com and look and see, try for pairs or singles. But you know, we are on the map, and those type of things make a big difference when we come out and you know, go back and talk to other agents about other shows. And one we didn't talk about much was Carrie Underwood. Carrie Underwood's going to be slipping in here in the end of March.
Oh, did we miss that?
Another strong show.
We'll go back and catch that
Yeah,
one.
and she's just, you know, she's got a new album out. There's a lot of exposure about her. She just recently had a child, and is just what a wonderful show, and a great artist, a very sincere artist, and one that came up through American Idol. And you know, as we hit the last season of that, it's sure nice to have Carrie Underwood here to kind of show us what kind of talent they brought out.
Thank you for letting me know I missed one on this big, long list of
So
things coming up at the
there's
arena.
so many different things there, but she was. It'll be a fun show too. So.
Now, right now, there's only one show announced for Pinewood Bowl, 21 Pilots on July 28th. You're telling me that's selling really well.
Selling really well. I mean, that's a general admission show, so our attendance is a little bit higher. We can get over 5,000 out there for that, and it is sold extremely well. They continue to be more and more popular by the day. I think a lot of Christmas presents went out with 21 Pilots tickets, so there's probably in that 400 to 500 tickets left. So if you're interested in doing that, get those tickets soon. Don't wait till July, and then that's just the first of many, many Pinewood Bowl shows we've got. We have several locked in that we'll be announcing soon, and it's going to be, I think, the best season at Pinewood Bowl that we've ever had.
Well, and you've had some great ones.
We have.
Well, Tom, thank you so much. We trust you and your Magic Rolodex will continue to bring the top acts to Lincoln, to our beautiful Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Lincoln, for all the support.
The websites that you'll want to check out are pinnaclebankarena.com and pinewoodbowltheater.com. So much more to come.
There's
as the
a
year
lot of
goes
great
on.
stuff, and it's going to be a tremendous year.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.
And that is all for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all the guests that we had today. Now, if you missed any of the events, stay tuned. We'll be running a list again right after this show. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out and about.